There has been a dramatic increase in the number of ATV and golf cart accidents among young people here in our community. 10 children have been hurt riding in golf carts since the start of the year. That's as many injuries as we saw during all of last year. And it's only July. So we're on track now for twice as many kids hurt in golf cart accidents. And there have been more ATV crashes in the last 7 months than all of last year as well. 20 kids have been rushed to the hospital. Lisa Nichols is the Pediatric Trauma Manager for Wolfson Children's Hospital, joining us this morning via Zoom. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
So let's start with golf cart accidents. What kind of injuries are we talking about?
So golf cart injuries, a lot of these injuries are caused from even being a passenger within the golf cart. There are some children who are driving them as well. And the injuries we see vary anything from broken bones to traumatic brain injuries. So for some of these children that may fall out of a golf cart.
And is that how it's typically happening? Is there falling? Are they typically the ones who are driving, or they're just passengers?
In many cases, they're just passengers, so that they are actually, there may be too much speed. The person they're with may have hit something, and the children are then launched out of the golf cart. But most of it is because of falling out of the golf cart, and we've had some instances where the child has been run over by the golf cart as well.
Just terrible. You know, you think about golf carts, it feels tropical. It feels kind of like you're on vacation, and you never expect that anything bad's going to happen. Would you remind our viewers the rules when it comes to golf carts?
So sure. So when you're dealing with golf carts, it's really important to make sure that, they're operated on roadways that are actually designated for golf carts. They're not ATVs, they're not all-terrain vehicles. So it's really important to kind of maintain it on a road that's an appropriate place for a golf cart. Making sure that you know all of the safety information about your golf cart. Only carry the number of passengers that actually have seats or seat belts with them, and then obey and follow all traffic rules. But the biggest thing that we probably see is that keeping your hands, feet, and legs within the vehicles as well, and not standing up and trying to hang off of the golf carts, which unfortunately we see a little bit more in our teen population.
It's interesting. There are people who own golf carts in my neighborhood, and sometimes I'll see a driver go by. It's a child and a teenager, probably, I would hope, but they look pretty young. Are there any age restrictions in the state of Florida?
So in the state of Florida, it kind of varies by different areas as far as if there are any restrictions. There are some areas that will tell you that nobody, if you're out on a road or a street, should be driving a golf cart under the age of 14. But that's also one of those, it's kind of hard to determine who's actually a 14-year-old, who's not a 14-year-old. But it's also, if they're out on the actual golf course, then you have completely different restrictions, or out on any sort of private property, then there's different restrictions. There are really no restrictions that go with that.
So let's pivot here to ATVs. I've been working here for more than 20 years and have covered a number of these, many of which have ended in tragedies. And it just breaks your heart because a lot of times it's young people, it's teenagers who are out with a friend. Are most of the injuries that you see at Wolfson, are they head injuries or others?
It really runs the gamut. So there are definitely head injuries we see, especially for those children who aren't wearing helmets at the time that, their ATV crash. We've seen quite a few, abdominal or chest injuries from actually either being run over or having the ATV land on them, as well as, again, broken extremities that then have to be repaired.
And so the rules when it comes to ATVs, because they're more specific to age, aren't they?
They are a little bit more specific to age. So, Southeast Florida Safe Kids Coalition and stuff, of Northeast Florida, really kind of gives a little bit better guidelines as far as what you can do with this. So, but the Florida law states that you may only operate on unpaved roadways where the speed limit signs are less than 35 miles an hour. But if you think about 35 miles an hour, that's a pretty decent speed. You're also supposed to be wearing a helmet. You're supposed to be wearing your safety equipment and making sure that you're actually using the seat belts that can come with some ATVs, but not all ATVs have them as well. And then anyone under the age of 16 must be under the supervision of an adult.
You know, one of the reasons that that we love the format of this show is it gives us an opportunity to really speak more in depth to our viewers, many of whom are parents and some of whom are teenagers as well, to remind them about the dangers out there. And you helped us accomplish that this morning. Thank you, Lisa, for your insight. You've certainly seen it all, being the trauma, manager at Wolfson Children's Hospital, and it is great information for our viewers. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.